Hey guys, it's Rachel from Little Ring Lamb, and today I have a book review on The Rumor by Elin Hilderbrand. And I just read this like 2 or so weeks ago. I read it right after I read one of her other books, and I absolutely adored it. If you need my book reviews though, or just need a refresher, I'm going to be rating the book by these 5 categories: plot, characters, cover, suspense, and overall in terms of reading very soon 5 out of 5, and not so soon 1 out of 5. As well, this will be a spoiler for your review, so if you haven't read it, you're in the clear to watch this video. So basically, this book is like, when I first saw it last summer and didn't pick it up because, I'm great at keeping track of stuff, I was very intrigued by the premise because even when you hear the word rumor, and Elin Hilderbrand's books have like such salacious little tidbits and, which salacious little tidbits, that's like my phrase of the month basically, if you've read any of my reviews. But basically, it's just so much gossip and intrigue, and when you hear something by her called The Rumor, you know there's going to be a lot of gossip, and that's what I love reading about because it's just very amusing and very interesting. So basically there's 2 best friends, and it's Madeline and Grace. I'm just looking at the back just to make sure I'm not going to spoil anything because I did read it 2 weeks ago. And basically they both live on Nantucket, and they have their husbands and their kids. But then Madeline, there's like lots of stuff that starts happening. Madeline is a novelist, and she's had really, really bad writer's block, and she's trying to get over that. Whereas Grace is very interested and very motivated in getting her garden to be beautiful. She's in a garden society, and she wants her garden to be featured in pages of a magazine one day. And basically all this gossip starts coming around. And within these books you get, within all Elin Hilderbrand's books that I've read so far, you have different testimonies from different characters. So each section is broken up, like, so there will be Grace narrates a section, Madeline, so on and so forth. But in this book it's interesting because Nantucket has its own section, and you hear what the people, so if something happens, like in this book, somebody knocks on somebody's door and people are like, oh, are they having an affair? And like you see how it gets spread throughout the town, so people be at the dentist, and it's all the people in Nantucket, and then it goes back to one of their viewpoints. You can see how rumors kind of get twisted and stories get manipulated, and stuff that's seemingly innocent to the people, other people can perceive it a different way. So I found that very interesting because if you didn't have that part and it was just like the rumor, I feel like that part definitely added something and added a different layer to the book, which I really did enjoy. Supply, I give a 5 out of 5. Now, here's Sass, I'm like, amazing. This one, I was like glued to my seat again. I was like, usually I can read 1 to 2 Elin Hilderbrand books a summer, or Elin Hilderbrand books a summer, because I usually also end up reading other stuff, but it's weird because I don't want to get sick of her books. Not that I think I would, but I feel like I'd want to cherish them because, like, what if one summer I feel like reading 4 and then I only have 1 because it's the one that just came out that summer. So I kind of want to savor them. But at the same time, these recent 2 have been making me want to, like, well, I only have 1 other book in my collection that I haven't read from her, and it just makes me more excited to read The Island because it's one I've wanted to read for a while. But back to this plot, loved it so much. It had me glued to my seat. I loved how you had not only Madeline and Grace's perspective, but you had their children, and their children were teenagers. I believe they were all 17 or maybe 16, and then Madeline and Grace were at least late 30s, early 40s. And I really enjoyed how you had the 2 perspectives, because me being not technically a teenager, but like a young adult, it was kind of interesting to see both sides, because I feel like if you were a teen reading this, you at least had the teen perspective as well as the adult perspective. So I find this to be a good one if you like teen YA and want to branch out into reading more like general fiction, which is aimed for like an older audience, because you have both perspectives, though there is a heavier emphasis obviously on the adult storylines because this is general fiction and it's aimed at an older audience. But yeah, I really liked everything that happened. I liked the pacing. It was so much intrigue, so much stuff. I really love how you see reoccurring characters like Ed Capinosh, who was in The Castaways and many other of her books because he is a police chief, so he's mentioned quite a bit. Characters, I give a 5 out of 5. I really love the characters. I really like whenever there's best friends getting angry at each other in books, like I really just get amped up because I know what it's like to be in a fight with your best friend. Like a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people, but like they're like fights that you get over, but they're like kind of little spats and they feel very serious and very heavy, but like you know it's foolish, but you want to keep like fighting because you just need to get it out. But like I just love the characters, how real they were. Like stuff happens, stuff gets said, and like they didn't, like they, with their best friends, like they do like kind of like brush under the water, but sometimes they have to talk it out more. But these 2 just brush under the water. I used to be more like that. Now more like let's air it all out, let's get it all out so we don't have another blow up anytime soon. But I just really liked that. I really liked how the characters of Hope and Allegra, which are Grace's 2 twin daughters. I really like their relationship throughout the book. You didn't see too much of Madeline's son, but I really liked what you saw of him. Same as Trevor. It was more focused on Grace's family, which I really Grace's family had more of the gossip surrounding it, but I feel like if both the families had a lot of gossip surrounding them, it'd be a little bit, not unrealistic, but like the two families. But I guess because the one being a writer and the one being a famous gardener, and they're on Nantucket, well, not famous, but like she's well known for her garden. You know, there's gonna be a lot of rumors flying. So yeah, it's really hard for me to describe contemporary books without giving anything away, because it's not like an action book where you can be like, I love this action, like, you know, like it's kind of hard. So if I'm rambling a bit, sorry about that. Cover, I give a 5 out of 5. I actually like this cover for the paperback. In the hardcover, I believe this was zoomed out and you could see their legs hanging off the chair, but I just really like how it's close up. I especially love the spine. Like, I just think that's a perfect summer. I love the pop of red on the green and like blue and white background. I love the back. Like, every time she has a color here, it's just gorgeous. So I love that. I know it's a color, but I still love it. I just love this cover to pieces. Suspense, I give, though, a 5 out of 5. Had me glued to my chair. What can I say? It took me a few extra days to read just because I was busy, but every time I got a spare moment, I was flying through this, and I read it in, I didn't really read little parts of it. I read it in chunks instead of like little sections. Don't know why I forgot that word. Overall, I give the book a 5 out of 5. I definitely read this again another summer. Maybe not next summer, but the summer after that, because, you know, I want to reread some of the ones I read a while back. So this will probably be rereading, though. Like, it definitely has rereadability potential, for sure. I'm definitely going to be rereading this in the future. A really good one. If you haven't read this one out of her books, definitely recommend. If you haven't read any of her books, definitely get on it. They are general fiction, so if you're more into the YA side of things, you know, just evaluate that for yourself. But if you're wanting to branch out into more like general fiction, recommend for sure. Love her books to pieces. And yes, this is my book review on The Rumor by Elin Hilderbrand. Sorry I pandered off a little bit in this review, but some days it's just like that. And yeah, if you definitely read this, let's discuss in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.